Hello, friends, and welcome to another Modern League. We're returning to Elementals, one of the money decks in Modern. This has got a lot of synergy between the new Elemental incarnations, Fury and Solitude, and this old uncommon from M20, Risen Reef. It allows us to gain value every time an elemental hits the battlefield. So while we would normally be losing quite a bit of value when we're evoking these cards with Risen Reef on the battlefield, we get to get some of that back. And then if we're actually casting these for the full cost, we're usually in a pretty good spot. We're also running some Mulldrifter. We've got some Ephemerate with the enter the battlefield triggers being so strong, and then also with the way Evoke works with Ephemerate, this could be very, very strong. Being able to Fury or Solitude and then Ephemerate it means that we get to double up on the triggers and we get to keep the creature. So this could be potentially very strong. Finally, we have Teferi Time Raveler, meaning that our opponents can only play at sorcery speed, so that will be pretty convenient. As far as the sideboard goes, we got some Thunderkin Awakeners, which is pretty interesting, but we're running the Kaheera Orphan Guard version instead of the Ragavan version of Elementals, so this could really snowball if it's allowed to. We've also got some Force of Negation, which I think is fairly standard for this list. I have some Force of Negation in the sideboard so that you're able to tap your mana on your turn to put your creatures onto the battlefield and then still hold up some form of interaction. Speaking of which, we also have some Endurance on the board to round out the one in the main. Very useful against a lot of decks, not just graveyard combo decks like Living End, but it could also be useful against like Temur. Or sorry, not Temur. Izzet Tempo? So many lands. Nothing to do till turn 4. Keep this. Get rid of Ephemerate. Fury. Alright, so if we put Harbinger down, then what are we putting on top? Feel like we don't really have a lot of good twos. We really just want to get to Risen Reef. Think I can wait a turn to put this down. That's interesting. Okay. Don't know what's going on. Thinking Sacred Foundry. Another Cavern of Souls. Alright. So 4 lands is enough to cast all of our stuff. I'm going to have to, if I want to play Windswept Heath this turn, I'm going to have to shuffle immediately because I'm not going to want to shuffle away what I put on top with Harbinger. Or I could just put Cavern of Souls down and hold up like a lightning bolt or something. Oh, hey there. Any desire to play Spirits again soon? I do love that deck. I will eventually pick it up again. The new Blue Mythic Spirit from Innistrad. I don't remember that one offhand. I do remember there being a new Lord, I think. Maybe that's the one you're talking about. So I'm just going to put Risen Reef on top. And we'll pass the turn here. Oh, that's a more traditional land. There's a Teferi. Okay. I guess we'll just go ahead and F6 for the rest of the turn. Teferi ticks up, so Fury's not going to be able to kill it this turn. Kind of feel like Teferi pick up their Teferi? No, you can't do that, because this has an artifact, creature, enchantment. You can tell I don't play Teferi too often. Could just play Risen Reef. So the card is called Spectral Adversary. I'll have to look that up later. Hallowed Fountain. Breeding Pool. I think it's got to be Breeding Pool, right? Cool. Okay, so Prismatic Ending with 3 colors on our Reef. That is exiled. And they tick up to Teferi again. Oh, that thing's gonna ultimate! Ah! So if we play Omnath here, then we get the draw card. Seems fine. We could play Teferi, but what are we doing with it? White, blue, red, green. It's all good. Yeah, that's true, Up and Atom. And because we had the Risen Reef, we wouldn't have lost too much value sacrificing the Omnath like that. Definitely would have been nice to get the Teferi off the board. What are they going to do here? Ephemerate their Wall of Omens. They get to draw a few cards with that. Eternal Witness get... they're going for a land. Flooded Strand. And Teferi bounces my Omnath. Alright, so we're going to Fury, kill their Teferi. And we can kill their Eternal Witness for good measure. Or at least try to. They could have Ephemerate for it. So they are going to crack the Flooded Strand in response here. They get an island. And play an Icefang Quaddle. Drawing a card, but they're tapped out. So we get to take care of 2 of their creatures there. Feels pretty good. We're finished for the turn. Next turn is looking pretty hot, but opponent has a lot of resources here. They're going up to 7 cards in hand. So there's still a lot of fight going on here. Time Warp. They're just going to take an extra turn. First time on Elementals. This is my second time. Although the first time we were not playing Teferi. Alright, so opponent used their Time Warp to get 1 damage in with their Quaddle and draw 1 extra card. What are they going to do with that extra card? Oh, a Solitude. Yep. That gets rid of the Fury. And doesn't feel too good casting a Teferi and like bouncing any of their things, honestly. But Mulldrifter looks pretty good, so we could like Omnath, fetch land, Mulldrifter. Prismatic Ending. Okay. Should have just got the Triome there. Oh. Can't even play that, not that it really matters. Don't really have anything we can attack with either. Looks like we're just going to have to pass the turn at this point. Could have used my mana a little bit better there, I think. Hey there, Connor, man. How's it going? How has the hammer been treating you? You've been on that deck for a while, right? Alright, another Solitude. They're just picking off our creatures here. Yeah, I am. Nova Scotia. So let's see here. We could block the Ice Fang. We could also trade with a Solitude. Keeping the Mulldrifter is pretty attractive. Being able to like bounce it with Teferi, replay it. We could just take the damage, keep the Mulldrifter. We're at a pretty high life total currently. I just get another land. Suppose technically we should have attacked with that first. Here I am missing points of damage. Thinking flash in the Endurance, try and ambush one of the Solitudes here. Oh, you thought I was an Aussie. I don't quite have the accent, but yeah, I work nights, so I stream when I get home, which is early morning here, but I've been up since like 10 p.m. They play a Teferi, which means I won't be able to play my Endurance as a... I think I'm just going to lay it out. Yeah, that it is a way of life. Alright, Nerdy Orion. Well, that's pretty great that you work in a place that is an option. Personally, I listen to a lot of podcasts while I'm at work. Just the Coatl? No, you're coming in with everything, gonna kill my Teferi. Well, I'm gonna block one of your things. Yeah, like, Teferi bouncing any of their things just feels terrible. They got so many Enter the Battlefields effects, and look at the clock over here. I'm just getting wrecked as far as the chess timer goes because I don't have a lot of experience with this deck, so I'm trying to think about my lines. What am I going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Omnath. That's what I'm going to do. This is going to be the longest game, and I'm going to end from timeout over here. Just a little bit of a prediction about what's going to happen. Let's see here. What do we draw? Prismatic Ending. So we could get rid of Teferi with this. Are we going to have enough mana to cast a Mulldrifter 2? I think so. Should be able to do it all. One, two, three. Nice. Play a Mulldrifter. All the right mana. Reload. We got a Solitude. Don't have any good attacks. Guess we'll pass. Alright, so they're going to Ephemerate Solitude here. Let's respond by Solitude, killing their Solitude. Nice! They conceded there! That's huge! That easily gives us, like, minutes on our clock. Okay. So, let's see here. Opponent is doing something similar to us, but it's not elementals. They got a bunch of Enter the Battlefield effects. They got Solitude, Teferi, so very, very similar, but bit of a different creature base. Their hand must have been brutal. Who knows what it could have been. They had several cards there. Endurance doesn't seem too hot. Engineered Explosives. I don't know that I'm ever really going to get it high enough. Thunderkin Awakener might be... I don't know. It seems like they're exiling a lot of my stuff rather than taking it out with damage. So I don't think Thunderkin Awakener is really going to work. Force of Negation for their Teferis. Yeah, because I think we can take out our Endurance. And how many Teferis do we even want to keep ourselves? As I was saying before, like, Teferi felt awful most of the time in that match. How interested are they going to be in keeping their own Teferis? Because are they really going to be wanting to bounce these creatures that are going to have huge effects when they come back on the battlefield? That's true, that's true. Just having Teferi down is a big deal. Could also counter an Ephemerate with the Force of Negation. But I don't think I want to go too heavy on that. I mean, Teferi is kind of stopping the Ephemerate as well. Can bounce your own stuff. That's true. That's true. And that is what we ended up doing with our 3 fairy, bouncing a Mulldrifter. So we could recast it, draw 5 cards, basically. I like this. We have the Solitude Ephemerate to exile 3 creatures. Oh, Utopia Sprawl. That is a good draw. I like that a lot. What do we go for that? Probably, what, red? Because of the Fury? Or we could call blue. Oh, there's a lot of blue. Oh yeah, Mulldrifter is amazing. I mean, I've seen the power of it several times in Pauper. It is one of the strongest cards in Pauper, hands down. So being able to play with it in this format is super cool. There's a Quaddle. So that's why they're running the snow duels for this. It's starting to make sense. Okay. Put it together eventually. Definitely should have. Thanks, Connor, man. I think that definitely was the play. It means that we would not have been able to keep up Ephemerate Solitude, but we probably don't need to do that this turn. So we could play Omnath. We could Prismatic Ending the Teferi. Kind of like Prismatic Ending the Teferi here. Yeah, I don't really understand why they didn't use Teferi. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We could... We could... Fury, exile Omnath, Ephemerate Fury, and kill their stuff, and get to keep our a 3/3 double strike. I don't know. I think I just like killing Teferi. We got an opportunity here where they didn't use it. White, red, blue. Play the long game, I think. Yeah. We could pay the life here, hold up Solitude. No, let's not broadcast that. Nice. Alright, Omnath, hope we draw fetch land. White, red, green, blue. Okay. Because we don't have... Yeah, they can counter our spells now. Ah. So that's what it was. Their hand was full of counter spells, and they just couldn't counter any of our stuff. Haha, okay. An Eternal Witness. Fury is starting to look pretty good, but we don't have a way to cast it yet. We're going to get back a land. Solitude picks off everything if they don't have Counterspell, but we don't have blue for Force of Negation. Bit of a risk. Okay, we get the island, but we don't have double red for Fury. No, we do, because of this thing here. Okay, so we do have double red for Fury, but if they have Counterspell, that's a problem. Kind of wish Fury had flash like Solitude does. Alright, so Solitude resolves. Put the Evoke trigger on the stack first, then get rid of one of these Coatls. And then we'll Ephemerate, or try to. Okay, they're doing their thing, which is Counterspell. Force of Negation. It's a fight. They're going to Ephemerate their Eternal Witness in response. They can get this Counterspell back. Oh, I should have responded with Solitude again. Could have... Pretending we have Veil of Summer? Absolutely. So I missed on that one. That's unfortunate. But it looks like they're tapped out. So we just get to kill all their stuff. Yeah, Fury looks pretty good here. They have nothing for their Ephemerate. Very nice. Okay, so they got a Solitude. They're going to be able to get rid of our Fury. We have a Solitude to get rid of their Solitude. Oh, they keep on having, they keep on playing spells here. What do you got next? Eternal Witness. Okay, get back what? Another Eternal Witness? Nope, going for Counterspell. Eternal Witness does block Solitude. Would like to get this down. Not the draw I was looking for. Play this here, they're just going to Counterspell it. I think we probably just wait a turn. I don't think Prismatic Ending... I guess we could, like, go for Prismatic Ending on Witness, but if they have Ephemerate, that's super bad. I don't really want to Ending and then just get got by Ephemerate. I think I'm actually going to attack. Because if we get Witness off the board, that's good. Oh, they could just Ephemerate this here. Okay, so we do actually trade. Kind of want to keep Misty just in case I draw Omnath. Is that crazy? Tense game. Another E-Witness. Getting the Quaddle, so they'll be able to play that on end step. Risen Reef. Play out some bait. Oh, wow. Okay. They let that one resolve. Nice. Really wish I could draw a Cavern. We'll take what we got here. Wow. We're 10 minutes behind the opponent. So slow. This is one of the disadvantages of picking up fresh decks quite often. Not being as familiar with the play patterns and needing more time to make your decisions. And there's a Teferi. I'll try to kill that. They'll probably be holding up Counterspell here. So I'll try to Prismatic Ending that, then we'll put down like a Risen Reef. Here comes Counterspell. Solitude to hand, great. No really point in attacking there. They have this 0-4. I guess I don't know, if we had like Fury in hand, maybe an attack was good. Solitude getting rid of our Risen Reef. Another Risen Reef. Do we know if they have Counterspell in hand? I think we know they have Eternal Witness. Okay. Don't know that we're going to have time to win a game 3, but it's looking pretty bad here with opponent having all these cards, returning Counterspell here. Why not cast Solitude? Because I forgot that Teferi was going to say that I couldn't. I thought I was going to be able to do it at instant speed. I think I'm just going to concede here. We'll move on to the next game. I'm just in an abysmal position. Wondering if we want to bring in the Awakener, because if they're countering like our Risen Reefs, we can bring them back. No, actually, like, now that I'm thinking about it, Endurance seems really good if they're trying to, like, Eternal Witness their cards back again and again. So maybe we should be looking at playing more Endurance. Alright. Uh, sure. Bad hand, keep, as we say. Go get the Triome. Play another fetch land pass. Should have hit 6 there instead of 2. Quit passing priority to me. I'll hit 0. So I'm going to want... Sacred Foundry. We don't have green mana though, right? So we probably need Temple Garden. Come on, Cavern. Give me Cavern. Four minutes on the clock to finish a game. It's going to be tight. Really like a Cavern of Souls here. And it's a forest instead. So if we evoke our Mulldrifter, they could counter it. It would feel bad. Sure. Don't really feel like we're going to be winning a game if we're just waiting around, so felt like I had to make a move anyway. Omens. Guess we'll try and kill both of their creatures here. Should have played the Solitude in response to the draw a card trigger here. They did not have Counterspell up. Now they do. Well, that actually worked. I'm surprised. We do not rebound here. Get Omnath. Kind of feel like if they had Counterspell, they would have countered the Solitude. Okay, so they're going to get the Solitude this way. Good trade for them. White, green, sorry, blue. This is white, and here's red. Play Omnath. Get fetch land. Nope. Alright, pass turn. There's Teferi. You're going to bounce the Omnath? Seems okay for me. Oh, they have Counterspell up again. There's that Cavern of Souls. So we could Fury, kill the Teferi. We could Omnath, draw a card. Can't cast Utopia Sprawl off this. Kill Teferi since we don't have a land drop. That's fair. Although this way I might be able to get some more value out of it. Being able to maybe like kill Teferi and this Quaddle. But we don't exactly have a lot of time to be playing a value game. Which is what this match is all about, it seems. So, opponent is obviously more familiar with their list, which is giving them an advantage. And that's okay, that's the way Modern should be, I think. Can't be countered. Fury. Cryptic Command. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. Okay. Attack for 4. Oh, they're going to Path the Fury. Yep, that works. Take 4 from Omnath, and then take another 4 from Omnath. And I guess we'll cast the Utopia Sprawl here. And we'll go, I don't know, red, sure. Alright, I'm just going to hit F6 for the opponent's turn. They play Teferi, probably bounce our Omnath, which is our clock. We only have a minute left, so if we can't attack them, we can't win. We got a Solitude, not going to be a huge help. Draw a card with Omnath. Risen Reef. Oh, that gives us a bunch of mana with a Stomping Ground then. And we'll hit F6 with 17 seconds left on our clock. And F6 through the opponent's turn. I think that we'll probably time out on our turn coming up here. Oh, Solitude from the opponent, killing our Risen Reef, pretty good. And Ephemerate, yeah, that locks it down. There's no way we can win from here. We did get pretty close, maybe, you know, like in a longer game, but they still had like 5 cards in hand to our 1 at this point. So I think that even though we're losing on time... Oh, what a draw, though. I'll never know. Guess we'll never know. Because we ran out of time. So we have a 1-land hand here. If any one of these cards was another land, I would keep this. But I don't see how I can keep this. This is worse. Going down to 5. Woof. Woof. Terrible. Going down to 4. Alright. It is what it is. Could also make a case for just keeping the Prismatic Ending, as it's a card that might let us get towards the late game. And since we show the Orphan Guard, opponent knows we're not Tron. Opponent knows we're just in a really terrible position. Probably should have just kept that ending. This Ragavan is going to end us. Oh well, a little bit of bad luck here. It happens. Yeah, the modern format is hard on a lot of classic decks. You really had to evolve, speed up, utilize some of these new cards. Chalice on 1. That doesn't hit too much of our stuff. Chalice on 1 is not that great. So let's see here. We have... so we have green here. Maybe a breeding pool? I like the Cavern of Souls. Next turn we got Omnath. We could put down a Mulldrifter this turn. We just draw 2 cards for it, though. So Ragavan's going to get another free hit in. I think we probably just put Orphan Guard to hand here. We get the same amount of cards in our hand as we would if we had evoked the Mulldrifter. And we can get towards a better Mulldrifter later this way. Gonna get reality smashed? Oh yeah. Red Eldrazi. It's the new thing. Oh, no Smasher. They got 6 cards in hand, no lands, all gas. That's terrifying. Taking a land off the top of our deck. Ramunap Ruins and Matter Reshaper. Oh, we get Solitude. Hey, Doll of Cutie with the resub. Hey, thanks for the support, friend. Alright, alright. Still can't figure out how it wins? I mean, turning creatures sideways, right? Just have the Ragavan connect 3 times without the opponent doing anything should work out. There's the Ephemerate. The amount of bad hands you get is humongous for the opponent's deck here. Not something that I would have necessarily thought about. I imagine you're really looking for that turn 1 Ragavan. They're going to dismember here. Nothing we can do about that. And they're going to be able to crash in for a bunch of damage. We getting smashed this turn? It looks like we are. Here comes the Smasher. So we'll get rid of that with Solitude, get rid of Ephemerate. Because Chalice says no to Ephemerate. Take 5, they get another treasure. Take another land off the top of our deck. And we get Prismatic Ending. So we could end the Ragavan, but that would actually cost us 2 mana because of Chalice, which means we can't play anything else. And then do these things just kill us? Brutal. Well, we just had a really terrible start is what happened. And the Reshaper? Yeah, that's pretty good. White, green, red. Think we would have won this game if we had had a good hand. But Ragavan has gotten in, what, 4 times? Oh, when they find Fury, they're going to be able to cast that and get a 3/3 double strike that we have to deal with. killed by our own Fury because of Ragavan. Seems appropriate. Fury. We wouldn't even be able to cast it, but that was kind of what we needed anyway. Let's just concede here. Maybe explosives. I don't think Alpine Moon is where we want to be. Could go Awakener. Yeah, if they're going to be killing our stuff, we could maybe bring an Awakener. Maybe take out some Ephemerate. Solitude looks good. Fury looks good. Ending looks good. What about Endurance? I don't think Endurance looks very good. I guess it blocks okay. Are they going to have something like Torpor Orb? Probably not, right? I imagine they're running some Enter the Battlefield effects themselves. Like Thought Not Seer, maybe what's the name of that Red Eldrazi that like steals creatures? Hey, handsome. How's it going? Not a great hand either. Just full of lands and an ending. But we'll keep it. Because it poops on Monkey. And this time our opponent is mulliganing. Alright, what's it gonna be? What's your turn one play? It was only one mull, so you got a turn one monkey? No monkey. Play this Cavern of Souls, name Teferi, get an uncounterable Planeswalker. It's not how that card works. So they're just going to play Cavern of Souls pass? Interesting. Just drawing lands all day, all lands all the time. It's like Pauper over here. We just got lands in our deck, that's it. Yeah, should definitely like to prismatic something if they put anything down. Cavern of Souls Elemental, so they probably have Fury in their deck. With Teferi, next turn we might be able to prismatic as an instant speed answer next turn, depending on what they do here. Is this an obligator? Yeah, it is. 3/1 haste. So probably put Teferi down to 2 would be my guess. Yep. Alright, so we get to keep the Teferi. Prismatic Ending, their creature. We can do it instant speed. I'm going to play what? Play the Cavern of Souls, I think, here. Yeah, we obliged. Kinda felt like I had to. This is just so strong. 3 mana, 3/1 haste. Oh, there's a smasher. Could we have gotten to 5 if I hadn't played the Souls? Blue, white, green, red. No, because we never get black mana. So we could never kill this with Ending. Only this is going out to Teferi, so we can do something about that later. White, red, blue. Ugh, great. So we can make them pick up Smasher with Teferi, but we lose Teferi, and they get to recast it anyway. It is going to take their whole turn, and we draw a card, and, like, we need to draw something, because we're just drawing lands here. Another Prismatic Ending. Thank you, deck. What a troll. Swear we play elementals in this deck. Also, I keep on forgetting about the companion. That's embarrassing. Obviously should have put the Orphan Guard into hand there. It's my fault for not keeping it obvious that it's here. Small mistake. Because I'm new to the deck. Embarrassing. Kind of feel like I just covered that. All right. Yeah. Orphan Guard and I aren't exactly on speaking terms. It's all good. Do get a little bit of lag. It's one of the wonders of the internet. Let's see if we can find something like a Solitude. Oh, Risen Reef, that's fine. So, green. Alright, here we go, another Risen Reef. Black Triome looking pretty good, yeah, right? If we were playing Prismatic Ending, why wouldn't we just play 5 colors? Seems obvious now. Oh, that's a nice draw. That's a super good draw. Are we back in this game? So you're thinking I should have waited? It does have flash. We could have waited, but I figured why not just go for it? Get the problem off the table. They had less mana, so I figured do something before they have more mana and can do something in response. They probably don't have any way to interact with me, though, meaningfully. But who knows? Give them an extra chance to draw something. Could have, like, maybe killed one of my Risen Reef with a Dismember off the top. Okay. That's going to kill the Risen Reefs. Omnath doesn't make black mana either. Hey, Fury! Great! Sheena, thank you for the support. 6 months. Odd feels like 5 months feels like the 5 months just happened. How's your Monday morning, Cooper? It's going pretty well. Playing a little bit of Magic. It always puts me in a good mood. And about to get furious over here. Here we go. Let's draw a card. Utopia Sprawl. Alright. Misty Rainforest. Gain 4 life. Crack a fetch. Get a forest. Make some mana. Go red. Play a Fury. Kill their Fury. Alright, so let's see here. 1 mana, put Utopia Sprawl over here, and then we have 3 mana. Yeah. This over here. Go black? Yeah. Now we got all colors. Yeah, Sprawl on black. Now we got an answer for your smashers. Prismatic Ending for 5. Thought-Knot Seer. Sure. Nothing we can really do about that. These are sorcery speed, so they can take 1. And they take the ending. Although this is pretty good here. We give our creatures +1/+1 in vigilance. This becomes a 5/5 and a 4/4 double strike, so both get through combat with Thought-Knot Seer, no problem. Yeah, the Anthem is pretty nice here, but they still have 2 cards in hand, so let's see what they could have another Thought-Knot Seer here. They do, so they take away our Orphan Guard as well. And our combat isn't looking as good, but we'll see what we get off the top of our deck. Probably a land. No. Dismember. Dismember the Omnath. So we could gain 4 life here. Kind of feel like we might as well. And then we can also pull a land out of the deck so we don't draw it. Solitude, sweet. I think we just passed the turn. This has flash. Oh no, they're gonna obligate my Fury? This is why I should have attacked. Yeah, I should have attacked there. Alright, let's throw a Solitude down, see what we draw. Yeah, we should have definitely attacked. Feel like I'm not playing this as well as I could. But not exactly familiar with the deck, so do what we can. And a land. Companion's gone. Fury gets rid of the Thought-Knot Seer. That's pretty good. We get to draw a card for it. Go red. Red. What do we get? Oh, that's a draw. All right. So let's see here. Green, white, red, blue. Omnath. Draw a card. Oh, they have another Dismember here. Kill Omnath. Wow, I would have liked to have gained the life, but I guess not. Draw a card. We get another Omnath. Don't have the mana to play it. Let's just play this. I think I keep both my creatures back. We could gain 4 life here, but I think it would be better to keep Solitude back as a blocker. In case they get, like, Smasher, I could block Smasher with Fury and block Fury with Solitude. Or something like that. Yeah, I think we pass. And then they just Lightning Bolt us. Yeah, and then it's Stomp. Woof. 2 lands. Neither of them cast Teferi. Let's keep it. These lands don't cast anything in our hand. Let's go. Alright, Urborg. Turn 1 Urborg. Is this Yawgmoth or 8-Rack? Yawgmoth wouldn't have any play. Okay, so they're going to use a Grief. And they used, what is this, Malakar Rebirth? So this is, I think, Reanimator. And they're going to be able to Undying Evil the Grief. So they just get to take 2 of my cards. Guess I could have used Solitude here. Take the Grief. But we'd just be losing a ton of value anyway. Ugh. Stupid F6. Alright. I could have Solituded the Grief there. And that would have been a 3 for 3. And instead they get to keep the Grief this way, so... Just continuing the trade of playing like a donkey. It's got to stop at some point, though, right? Usually on Fridays when I'm playing Yawgmoth combo. Hey! No, this is just one of those, what's names? Human filters? This is just an approximation of a human, so that, you know, if you saw my true form, you wouldn't freak out or whatever. Looks like the bass singer from Pentatonics? Alright. I got one of those faces. I look like a lot of people. I'll have to look that up. Alright, so definitely want some white mana. Blue mana wouldn't be... blue mana would be fine as well. Let's go ahead and get Hallowed Fountain. We're going to need more white or blue mana down the road. Get a Sprawl. Okay. So cannot cast the Teferi here because of stupid Stomping Ground. Makes all the mana except the kinds we need. We'll call this one for white. And pass the turn. Opponent has an interesting hand here. Single land Grief. Sent me a YouTube link for later, thank you. Oh, that's their second land. So Teferi doesn't exactly feel the best on Grief, right? Send the Grief back to their hand so they can do more Grief stuff? Doesn't seem good. We can Ending Grief. 1, 2, 3. We need one more color. Cavern of Souls isn't going to cast the Grief. Oh, the Rainforest will, though. So we can go Omnath, Rainforest, Crack, Rainforest, and the Grief. White and red and blue and green. That's right. Thank you. Cavern produces black because of Urborg. Very true. Fortunately, this is just better. End your thing. Go. How many turns have they had Grief out? I guess we did put the Omnath down. I mean, it was turn 4. It was turn 4. So we were on the play. If they had gone with the thing on the play there, might have been a different story. Really hope they don't get to keep this. Although the Ephemerate's kind of wasted if they do. Okay, so yeah, Undying Evil, your Solitude, you get to keep it, but you don't get a second exile, because I have nothing. And another land. Ugh. I guess we could, like, Teferi their Solitude, draw a card. It's not the worst. Another land. Alright. Uh, Stoneforge Mystic. Wow. Ah, yes. I forgot it again. Thank you, Juka Wall. Thank you, Black Star. See, this is why I'm doing so badly this league. Just missing these little things all over the place. Yeah, we're in huge trouble here. Just keep drawing lands. Flooded. So this is where they get to put their equipment into play. Cauldric Campliet. And we get completely torn apart by this 5/5. It's a complete. You could say fait accompli. The way I keep drawing, like, how could we do anything? Ah, the joys of magic. I love this game. I'll just keep playing land go all day. Watch, they got like Batterskull in hand and they're just going to throw it in my face if I try to attack. Alright, let's play a Risen Reef, see what we can find off the top of the deck. Maybe get something going here. Yeah, okay. Take a Risen Reef. Play that. Let's get some more cards going here. Mulldrifter, sure, put that to my hand. What else you got? Endurance, absolutely, I'll take one of those. Um, so we could evoke the Mulldrifter, draw like 4 cards, or we could. Let's see here. Do I have another Temple Garden? I think I have another Temple Garden in the deck. So we could fetch out Temple Garden, throw Endurance down just as a blocker. Better have Temple Garden in the deck. Yes, I should have 2 Temple Gardens. We have 1 here. And, okay, the other one should be in the deck. What do you think, chat? Do they have Batterskull in hand? Breeding Pool 2? Excellent. I mean, of course they have Batterskull in hand, right? I attack here, I lose my Orphan Guard. I mean, yay me for being so smart, but also... So this is like the old school Solitude, Stoneforge Mystic, Grief deck. Alright, so this is going to get rid of a Risen Reef, and in response we'll put down an Endurance. So we can draw 2 cards. Lightning Helix. Called Shot. Find those called shots are pretty important. Alright, they're going to Ephemerate the Solitude now. Go ahead and get rid of the other Risen Reef, so I only draw 1 card with the Endurance this way. Do we want to wait to shuffle Solitude back in? Yeah, not really going to work that way. We probably just shuffle our own stuff here. So that we can like draw into Prismatic Ending, Solitude, all that good stuff. Took Affinity to Pauper on FNM, went 6-0. Wow. 6 matches in an FNM. That's a lot. Certainly not worried about Companion. I mean, it's a solid deck. Alright, so they can attack with the Caldra Compliet, but Batterskull I have a block for. I guess we can just take 5. Ah, okay. 6-0 in games. That makes a lot more sense. Prismatic Ending. Okay. So let's see here. We can exile the Germ. Could exile the Batterskull. I feel like we gotta exile the Germ here. We're never gonna get up to 7, obviously. We could also just play Mulldrifter. So let's see what Mulldrifter gets. Cavern of Souls and a Sprawl. Exile your Germ. Could attack with endurance. They double block. Not the best. Oh, I forgot about the Ephemerate coming back here. Should have definitely attacked. Could have killed the Solitude. Now they can Ephemerate the Solitude, get rid of anything. No, they're going to Ephemerate the Stoneforge Mystic, which lets them go get another equipment. Maybe a Sophie, for example. Yep, and that's what they get. They go get Sophie. Putting Sophie onto just about anything is a problem. And another Stoneforge Mystic. Do you have any more equipment in your deck? Maul of the Skyclaves. Okay. Maul is going to kill us dead. We only have Mulldrifter as a flyer. And Sophie says that that doesn't do anything. And we are drawing amazingly. Okay. I'm having a bit of trouble with this deck here. We have Reach on Endurance. Oh yeah, that's true. Endurance does block. So Endurance counters their Undying Evil. So does Teferi. Like, our deck feels like it has game against them. Just got caught. Foundation Breaker. Let's bring that in. We have the Solitude Ephemerate. Prismatic Ending to get rid of Stoneforge. Opponent mulliganing heavily here, down to 5 cards now. Okay. Windswept Heath pass. Now, as much as I would love to hit 0 and just pass through the turn here, we're going to do a little more slowly because we have Solitude and we don't want them to be able to like do some mad grief stuff. Let's just bring in a Triome and play another Windswept Heath pass the turn. Lands forever, lands for days. Alright, so we need Temple. We already have a Temple Garden. Maybe a Stomping Ground? Another land? Alright. Come at me, I'm here! No plays. Okay. Yeah, I kind of feel that way right now. Like, I kind of feel like we've just been flooded this entire league. What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? Just keep playing lands and passing the turn because at least we got lands to play. Lands for days. Just the most lands. Kill all your stuff. Hold on. Let this do the thing first. Ephemerate, so we get to keep it. Get rid of your Charming Prince. Your things are gone, and you get rid of my Prismatic Ending. That's the way that trade works. That's right, we'll play Oops All Spells and never Flood, because all of our... but we'll get mana screwed. So I'm not really interested in casting this, honestly. Solitude isn't going to hit anything, and then we wouldn't be able to attack with it. So I'm just not going to rebound the Ephemerate here. We get a Teferi. I guess we can do both, right? We could put this to hand. Oh, we could have just got this and played it, and then we could have gained 4 life, and this would have had... yeah, okay. I see what you mean. I was thinking like Teferi, but again, this is a thing that I have to remember that we have access to. And then, like, at this point, do I even want to put it into my hand? Because then I'm exposing it to grief? Okay, well, because of Teferi, they're going to lose the Solitude guaranteed here. It's just going to be a trade for my Solitude. So that's actually pretty good. They exile an Ephemerate from their hand, which they couldn't use with the Teferi anyways, and 2 for 1 themselves. Get a Fury. Why wouldn't they wait to hardcast it? Good question. It's not like they can do anything with their mana this turn anyway. Playing Fury here just doesn't really feel very good. We don't hit anything with it. But if we keep it in our hand, we could lose it to stupid grief. I'm going to put it down. Yeah. Fury's a big threat. We could put Kaheera down first, but then we wouldn't be able to keep the Fury. That's why I'm putting it down. Playing around Grief, which is one of many cards they could have. But it looks like they're cracking lands here to try and find fresh cards. So I kind of feel like whatever their hand is, it isn't very good against Teferi. Oh, they're going to persist this stupid thing. Oh, yeah, that's true. Makes it hit for... Yeah. Kiri makes it hit for a lot. Putting Solitude back to their hand doesn't feel too hot. Let's see what we can do with this. Draw a card. Risen Reef. Let's just draw a card. Nice. Good draw. Draw another card. Nice. Good draw. Draw 2 cards. Now we're talking. Nice. We can even throw down Endurance, draw 2 more cards if we want to. That Teferi -3 hit nothing was really strong. Power of Risen Reef. This card can bring you back out of nowhere. Stoneforge Mystic's pretty good. We'll be able to bounce that with Teferi, so they won't be able to put the Cauldron down immediately, start pressuring them with Omnath, and... okay, they're going straight for Sophie. That makes sense. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nothing we can do about that. So you're going to get rid of Risen Reef. I think I'm going to draw my cards. Oh, they just concede to me drawing 2 cards. Wow. Okay. Sure. Alright, so we've only got 9.5 minutes to finish this game, but that's a lot more time than we had last time. Let's see if we can find our way through this. Hand looks okay. Teferi is pretty good against what they're doing. Risen Reef is just an amazing card. They're keeping 7, though. That's a problem. Don't really want to continue to mulligan when they're just going to be like, Grief, Undying Evil, take 2 of your cards. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 3 for 2 again. But they get to keep a Grief on the board. What's going to be a 4-3 Grief to attack every turn on the play. Pretty strong. Oh, okay, so they have the Malakir Rebirth instead. Cool card. I've been more and more interested in trying this in Yawgmoth combo. Could be quite good. I'm just going to play Flooded Strand pass. This is one of the cards they know about, and it's going to let me get Triome. They don't know about the Windswept Heath, so I'm going to want to keep that information hidden as long as possible. I'm going to hit 0 here. I have no responses. As a spell or a land, mostly as a spell, I mean, it would double as a land, so I would be able to put it out there, but being able to save a Yawgmoth from Unholy Heat, or being able to reset one of my Undying creatures, so, you know, like it already has a +1/+1 counter on it, I Malakir Rebirth it, sacrifice it to Yawgmoth, it wouldn't normally come back, but this time I get it back, reset. Might be worth a 1-of slot. There's an Omnath. I think we'll play the Sacred Foundry tapped here. What would you cut? That's the difficult question. I think I have a Essence Warden in my deck that I could cut. They didn't flicker Grief, they used Malakir Rebirth. Basically the same thing, you know? Oh, they didn't flicker Grief with Prince. I guess not. Yeah, you're right. That is kind of shocking. Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they just take more stuff out of my hand? So what do we do here? Do we bounce the Grief back to their hand? White and blue. If we return the Grief to their hand, it means they can take Omnath. I want to keep the Omnath. This has Menace though, so like I'm not going to be able to block. It's just going to kill me so fast. I'm taking the Grief off the board for a turn. It's dealing too much damage, and I can't block it. -3 nothing? That's probably better. Go up and give yourself an extra turn? Yeah, they probably just go for Teferi that way. And instead I just let them Grief my hand away. Oh, yeah, just another Malakir Rebirth. Taking me some time to really understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. Which is obviously just draw lands forever. Just always draw lands. And that way you'll always be able to play them every turn. Lands is a better deck in Legacy? Yeah. Yeah, they have Rebirth, Undying Evil, Ephemerate, Charming Prince. They're really like locked in on this this thing they're doing. Oh, is that a good draw? Looks like a good draw. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Although if they had ephemerated the Grief, they could have just taken the Fury out of my hand, and then I would have had nothing. So yeah, now they bring back Grief, they take nothing. They could have taken my Fury. They ephemerate Grief, take nothing. They should not ephemerate the Grief, exactly. This way they can still attack, and we go to 3. It has Menace, so I cannot block it. Land off the top, here we go. Sure, that's actually not going to work, because this is the card that I want. Okay, now this has Vigilance, so I'll attack for 8. And I can block the Grief now. Again, Ephemerate's not going to do you too much good. You probably just don't cast it here. And you probably just hope to find a removal spell so that you can remove either of my creatures and then kill me with Grief. Charming Prince. That's not a removal spell. So they scry. We've got attacks here with Fury. They have to block. Let's see what we draw off the top. Another Sprawl. Lol. Alright, attack with Fury. Put 2 cards on the bottom with the Scry. Play Utopia Sprawl, pass. Okay, Prince again. Another Scry, I would imagine. Yep. I like that they're persisting Prince. I mean, it does keep them out 1 card top. We're in trouble. They have a good card on top. We're looking for a good card off the top of our deck, please. 1 good card, please. 1 good card. Let's go. How about that one, chat? Is that a good card? Okay, we win a game. Win a match. About time. I mean, this hand looks good. We got Sprawl, Mulldrifter, Ephemerate. Like, there's a bunch of stuff to do. We're on the play. Let's keep it. Alright, they're keeping 7 as well. Let's see here. I think we go for... Okay, I'm going to go for Stomping Ground, Utopia Sprawl, go blue. Hey, is that true hero with the raid? Thank you. What were you playing? How did your stream go? Yeah, we wanted Stomping Ground, Pay the Life, put a Sprawl on it, go blue. What is your favorite deck? My two favorite decks in Modern are Yawgmoth Combo and Hammer Time. That's a problem. And then my favorite deck in Pauper, that would be a little bit more difficult to define. Not really liking this. This is an awkward situation with a Ragavan right now. Oh, you play Burn? Sweet. I've played a lot of Burn. Burn's a great deck. Burn would be able to just lightning bolt this Ragavan and laugh. Maybe it wouldn't even care. So let's see here. We got 3 mana. What an awkward position. Kind of feel like we gotta let this Ragavan hit so we can Mulldrifter or Ephemerate next turn. Which means we should have put the friggin' Orphan Guard into hand. And then we could have even done Solitude. Eventually I'll remember. I'm much better remembering Lurrus and Hammer Time, but that's no excuse. Not the first time I've done this either. This league. And now they just have Counterspell up. Oh, nice. Draw some cards. Okay. I guess we still try to Ephemerate this. And if we want to, we can Solitude the Ragavan. Maybe I should have let the Mulldrifter go and then just played Prismatic Ending on the Ragavan. That might have been the better play. You got a counterspell for my Solitude here? Opponent's pausing here on the Solitude. So they could be thinking about a counterspell. I can't really think about anything else that would be too good in this situation. How long have you been playing Magic? I've been playing since the Ice Age. So, around 95? Okay, 2018. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, chat. Go ahead and put in the year that you started playing Magic. Which Ice Age? You know, the Snowflake set. Harbinger. Interesting. So we could play Omnath, gain 4 life, or we could play Risen Reef, Harbinger, and then with Harbinger we could go get Fury, and then we could kill Darcy. Dragon Maze. Cool, cool, cool. And yeah, you don't have to put the year, just put the set. I think a lot of people remember what set they started with a lot easier than they would what year. First Theros. That's when I started playing competitively. Was First Theros. All right, opponents thinking about the Risen Reef. I think they might be multi-queuing, and then we wait. Yeah, I think they might be multi-queuing. It's going to be funny though because as much as some of these pauses are going to be like, what are they even thinking about? We're still going to have less time on our clock than they are. All right, there's the counterspell. Started collecting around Ice Age as well, sweet. But buying more around Urza's Saga, that was a great time to get in. Urza's Saga was one of the best times for Magic. All right, do we want to go get another Risen Reef here? Endurance might be okay. We have the second green in Temple Garden. Yeah, this deck is really cool, and I like the version here that's running a bunch of these prismatic endings along with the Risen Reef and the incarnations. So while your mana curve seems to be very high, you generally do have some interaction early on. Oh, expressive iteration. So that's going to just naturally with the sorcery give them delirium so they can attack in for 3 here. Not to mention the advantage they get. So yeah, they reveal Polluted Delta. They're going to be able to play that. I don't think they've played a land yet this turn. Should just be hitting 6 here. I don't have anything to do. Yeah, there's the Delta. Oh, and this is going to be a Murktide. Now that they've seen that we have Endurance on top, they're just going to slam the Murktide. Have a 7/7 flyer, and we are in so much trouble. Yeah, we're dead. Go get Solitude pass. Yep. Dead, dead, dead. Oops. Concede game. The instant gives them Delirium. We don't have any way for the Endurance to do anything. So they're just going to be able to hit us for 13 in the air. Let's bring in these other 2 Endurance. Engineered Explosives. Hit their 1s. Gonna get rid of some of these Ephemerates. They could be useful as like a way to save my creature from a spell, but I'm not gonna want to rely on them as a way to keep an Evoke creature around, because they're gonna respond to my Ephemerate with like a lightning bolt or something. This might actually be a good matchup for Thunderkin Awakener rather than Ephemerate. If they're going to be killing my Risen Reef over and over, this can bring them back. All we have is Solitude here. Not a very promising hand. This one is low on mana. We just have a single land. We can't really do anything. Alright, at least we have Prismatic Ending here. So let's see here. We'll keep double land, Prismatic Ending. Gotta get rid of 2 cards. We get rid of these. There's Ragavan, so we'll give that the old Prismatic Ending. Exiled. Ragavan down. And they have a Dragon Rage Channeler. Alright, so we need to start drawing lands. Remember when we used to only draw lands? Well, now we're not going to draw any. The pendulum swings. Oh, that's a thing. We don't get anything for it, which is unfortunate. Oh no! Thought Scour, make their Dragon Rage Channeler into a creature that's a 3/3. Now they want to block? I guess we Solitude? Maybe we let them block and then we Endurance. We let them block, then we Endurance. And that gets rid of their creature. It gets rid of basically our entire hand, but what are we doing anyway? No resources left. Opponent sacrifices their land in order to draw a card. We got a pair of Solitudes, but nothing to do. Thunderkin Awakener bites the dust. Pass the turn back. Expressive Iteration. Mystical Dispute entered the exile zone. Alright. No lands forever. Deal with it, chat. Another Expressive Iteration. So they reveal Mishra's Bauble, play Bauble, get to draw a card, keeping their hand size nice and flush and full. Like a hand should be 7 cards. Oh, only 6. Alright, so let's see here. We have blue, we have green. So we pretty much got all of our colors pretty set. Let's find another red land. Guess Stomping Ground is fine. Hello? What's it gonna be? What's next? What does the opponent have in store for us? Fetch on upkeep for an island, going up to 7 cards in hand. They have Delirium. What's it gonna be? Triple blue. Are you just putting like a little Murktide out? Yeah, it's a little Murktide. 4/4. It's so cute. But now they get to hold up Counterspell. Another Endurance. It's not too great. Let's see if maybe they'll take down Counterspell and we can... Nope. We're just going to take 4 to the face then. Whenever an instant or sorcery leaves your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Murktide. So we gotta target ourselves with this, because otherwise we're gonna grow their Murktide. And they're gonna Unholy Heat in response. Alright. So we're gonna shuffle that Endurance back into our deck. And we draw Fury. Well, Fury would kill this. Kill your thing. Nice. Go ahead. Oh, now they kill our thing. So they still have more resources than us, more lands, more cards in hand. So we are still in quite a bit of trouble. But if we can get a Risen Reef to stick for a turn, we might be in this. Engineered Explosives. I guess I put that out on 1. And that way I can kill a monkey if it tries to dash at me without using these Solitudes. It's not like we're going to be able to hit anything, you know, like a Murktide or something. Another iteration, so that's some more card advantage. Revealing Torpor Orb. Brutal. Torpor Orb is a problem. And our Engineered Explosives would have been an answer to that. But I was thinking Ragavan, not Torpor Orb. And now we draw the Risen Reef. Thank you, deck. Risen Reef, it does nothing. It's been a while since I've seen Torpor Orb, but it's definitely gotten a lot better recently, specifically because of this deck, Elementals. But you'll definitely get some value from some other decks as well. Like, it would have been pretty good against that deck we were playing against a couple rounds ago. Oh, there's a Murktide. Our Solitude is not going to do anything against that because of Torpor Orb. Oh, and another Murktide, making this Murktide grow. So I would say that's GG. Let's get out of here, see if we can... So we got Flamekin Harbinger, but that doesn't seem like a very good turn 1 play, or even turn 2 play, unless we find land on the top. I am going to keep this, but we really need another land here. Oh, nice, the spoiler's already out. So it's a 1-1 for green trample. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. So that could be like an alternate win con where after doing the combo a bunch, you can attack with this creature. One of the problems I see is it doesn't have haste, so if we bring it into play, we're not going to be able to attack immediately. I think it seems okay. The problem is, like, it doesn't answer any of the problems that we already have. Um, so yeah, it seems like another okay card that can keep the combo going too. Yeah, but you can do that with a bunch of other cards that are better, like Cutthroat will keep the combo going and kill the opponent. Don't think it's a fit. The card is pretty weak on its own, doesn't beat Grave Hate. My thought was having it as a 3 or 4 of, it's just passively growing as a beater. Also only works when you're basically comboing. Yeah, like, I think that it's a fun idea, but I think that in practice you would find it to be too cute. However, I have absolutely been wrong in the past, and if you want to try it, give us some testing, then, you know, like, it should be a fairly affordable card, and you should be able to get some games in. But, yeah, it's not a card I'm excited about. Shadow Spear, huh? No, it could definitely be, you know, like, really, really good. It could definitely win you games, but you're taking up space, and this deck is already very tight. All right, again, I don't really like playing Harbinger here. I want to draw land. So I think I'm going to, like, put Sprawl onto Triome, play Cavern of Souls, and then just pass. I guess, like, we could play Flamekin Harbinger, fail to find. No, you're right. This is not a forest. For a second, I thought this was all the land types I ever need, but it is not a forest. So you're right. I'm in an even worse position than I thought. Basically, we just have to pass. I could play Harbinger, fail to find. That's like my best option if I want to play a card out of my hand. Yeah, we probably should have another Triome in here. Inquisition. F6. So they got Artifact and Land. Only 2 cards. 2 card types. Inquisition of Kozilek makes 3. So if they find an instant or a creature with Dragon Rage Channeler, they'll probably throw it to the graveyard. And they do. They find Colligan's Command, so they're going to be attacking with a 3/3 Dragon Rage Channeler, along with taking one of our cards. Looks like we took a game. Yeah, we managed to take a match. We got just absolutely incredibly lucky and drew a Fury at the perfect time and managed to steal a game and match. But otherwise, I've just been doing really, really bad today. Sometimes that's going to happen. It doesn't matter what deck you're running. Sometimes you're going to run hot and sometimes you're not. Return Darcy, get a land, not bad. Now we're talking. Willow could also be out on turn 2, then you start looping, look for combo piece 3, fail to find a piece, and get to attack for 7, yep. Although it's not easy to fit 3 or 4 cards into the Yawgmoth deck. Because at that point you're taking out, main cards. I guess you could take out, like, 1 Grolf's Messenger, you could go down to 2 Grist. But yeah, Yawgmoth combo has a difficult time adding cards to it at this point. Like before Modern Horizons 2, you could experiment with cards all the time. I was experimenting with Lurrus in the main. I even had In Search of Greatness in the deck for a little while. But now it's just really, really tight. Yeah, I did try Lurrus in the main. It was actually quite good. But again, like, we just don't have the space for it nowadays. Prismatic Ending, kill this. So let's see here. We could play the Omnath. But if we play the Omnath, we don't get to ending the Darcy. We could end the Darcy, play Harbinger, and put Solitude on top. I like that. Oops. Risen Reef, probably. Yeah, absolutely Risen Reef. I was just thinking about the deck we were playing last time. I was a little bit off what I wanted to be actually doing here. Definitely Risen Reef. Because I was thinking about, like, oh, what if they have Murktide, and then we just get Murked? But look at the colors they're playing. They don't have Murktide. Alright, let me get this over here so that I remember that we have it. Another Dragon Rage Channeler. Darcy's for days. Pyrite Spellbomb, that'll kill whatever. I'm all like Risen Reef over here. They're ready to kill it with Pyrite Spellbomb. Yeah, red on the Sprawl. I was thinking about Fury. So we can play the Risen Reef, and then when they try and Spellbomb it, we can Ephemerate it. No, absolutely. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. Every once in a while, we're really going to get a hit, and I think the card is worth testing. It's just like I said, I'm not excited about it. They could still have Lightning Bolt. Ah, Unholy Heat. Oh yeah, the Outland Liberator is an interesting card, to be sure. That one is absolutely worth looking at. The way that we've been leaning so heavily on Reclamation Sage, being able to have a creature that potentially like can just attack in for damage and have the same effect. That is definitely something that we should look at. Gets around Torpor Orb, yep. I used to play Thrashing Brontodon before we had access to, what's name? Alright, so green, red, white, blue, Omnath. Draw a card. Ugh, Hallowed Fountain. Alright, so let's see here. We get 4 mana, 5, 6. So we should have enough to play this. Elemental. Hold on. Let's do this properly. There we go. Now we're holding up Ephemerate. Oh, yeah, links aren't going to work in the chat, so there is that. But if someone wanted to send a Parola Whisper of the art, I mean, I wouldn't have anything to say about that. Inquisition, okay, that's not going to hit anything on our side. It is going to activate their Darcy, though. And they put Overgrown Tomb into the graveyard. There's the Lurrus, which is going to allow them to start bringing back stuff like Bauble and Pyrite Spellbomb, so they could, like, Spellbomb Kaheera. But we're going to get a decent attack step in here. They have to attack with Darcy, and we're just going to be able to attack with everything. Fingers crossed we get something we can cast off the top. Fury would be nice. Solitude would be fine. Okay, so there's a Mire. That was their last card in hand, but it means that they could play a card on upkeep if they drew something like a lightning bolt for Kaheera or something. I don't know. Yeah, they have to attack. We don't have anything with flying or reach, so we take it. Alright, let's draw a good card here. Good card, please. Ending. Okay, so we can end the Lurrus, and then just attack in for a bunch of damage. White, green, red. And Lurrus. Gain 4 life. Making the race that much better for us. And let's attack for a bunch of damage. All with Vigilance. Go to 4, opponent. That Elemental's deck doth grind. Alright, so they have 2 cards in hand. And a Dragon Rage Channeler that must attack. We have... Oh, and they concede. So yeah, we had too much. That's pretty cool that we managed to win that one. Get wrecked. Alright, so Endurance looks pretty good. Thunderkin Awakener, I don't know, like I just haven't really been feeling this. I think I would rather this just be anything else. We could put like some Force of Negation in the board and some other stuff. The problem is like if this deck gets any more money added to it, I don't know that I could play it. Like I just wouldn't have enough to play this version, this deck with the Ragavans in it. Magic be really expensive right now. It's kind of crazy. Do we play Foundation Breaker here? What is the opponent going to have? I guess they could have, like, Void Mirror. I looked up what it would cost to play your deck on Moto. Just a small fortune and half a kidney. Yeah, Magic decks can be really expensive. I've had a very positive experience renting from Card Hoarder, which is currently sponsoring my stream. But I used their service for about a year previously, and it really helped me be able to play whatever Magic deck I wanted to play at the time. So, you know, like, renting is an option. There's a lot of good services out there. You can rent decks. How does that work? So you get a hold of a rental service, for example, Card Hoarder. You go to their website, fill in some information, and you apply. And at that point, they'll give you a credit of however many tickets. For example, like 1,000 tickets. And then you can use those tickets to rent whatever cards you need. And then like your monthly or weekly bill is going to be based on what your limit is. So if your limit is like 150 tickets and you're just using it to play Pauper, you know, you're going to be paying whatever, like $4. If your limit is $1,000, you're going to be paying a lot more. But it also means that you don't have to worry about bannings or what have you. Inquisition takes Teferi. Fixed all renting is great. It is, absolutely. You have to look into it. Yeah, I recommend it. It's a great option to be able to get into Moto and not have to buy the cards again. I have Burn on Moto as the one deck I own, and then that's it. I don't own anything else. I own like a lot of Pauper stuff. I'm almost all the way towards owning Yawgmoth. But I really think that Yawgmoth is an exception for me. I really love that deck. I play it all the time. And recently picked up my Verdant Catacombs for like $4 a piece on Moto. Because Modern Horizons 2, the prices have started to go down a little bit on some of the cards. So it's a really good time to get any of the fetch lands that you're missing from Modern Horizons 2. Good time for it. Alright, so there's the Thoughtseize. If they take Fury, we can't Fury. We can't Solitude anyways, so like realistically there's nothing we can do here. I want to go to the end of turn here and crack my fetch land. But they can just take whatever. And yeah, like even $5 is not enough for a Pauper deck, but it could be enough for the Pauper cards that you're missing. Oh, nice. Being able to play on Moto is very, very helpful. I find that Moto helped me learn a lot about the game of Magic. Mostly in the way the stack works, the way triggers work and interact with each other. Alright, so they know about the forest, they don't know about the Windswept Heath. So I think I just play the forest and hold the Heath in hand. Even though, like, we just still can't do anything. We could Fury kill the Dragon Rage Channeler, but that just feels abysmal. 2 for 1 ourselves. Then again, opponent doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. Getting rid of the Darcy could mean... I don't know, it's tricky. I'm going to play Forced Go. If we draw a Risen Reef next turn, we'll feel pretty smart. Alright, so they get Wooded Foothills, which puts land, and they get a forest. We didn't see forest last time, did we? I think we only saw, like, Blackcleave Cliffs, and that was it. So maybe they're new Jund. That makes sense with the Spell Bomb as well. So they're Jund Saga. Well, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but personally, I find that to be a lifelong learning experience. I'm always learning things about Magic. Good point, Mark Chalice. Inquisition, they get to take this. So I guess we could respond, exile this, use Solitude, kill their Darcy, and then they would hit nothing. It's not the worst. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of like Solitude was a free Swords to Plowshares there. Got all their basics ready for a Blood Moon. Nope, they put Lurrus to hand. They got 3 cards in hand. One is Lurrus. We got Fury to take care of that. Oh, not a bad draw, not a bad draw. We could put Omnath down. And then next turn, Fury. So we got green, white, red. We need blue. And this is blue as well, so we could probably just go get plains here. No, I think I need to go get forest. No, we already have forest. We can't get forest. Breeding pool then. Green, blue, red and white. Omnath, let's go. Draw a card. Mulldrifter, nice. Alright, so they got 3 card types. They are not ready to use Unholy Heat on Omnath yet. They can't have Moon because of Lurrus, absolutely correct. I was just kind of like remarking at their 3 basics and like, oh, it's ready for Moon, but yeah, they're not playing Moon. If you're playing a Lurrus deck, you're more likely playing Alpine Moon, and Alpine Moon does nothing in this matchup, at least from their side. At this point, I think they are playing Urza's Saga, so Alpine Moon on our side would get rid of their cards. Alright, so they get a Lurrus here, but they can only like bring back Pyrite Spellbomb or Mishra's Bauble, so it's not that great. And we can Fury kill their Lurrus. I'm really hoping for a land here so that we can keep the Fury afterwards would be ideal. Fetch land. Let's go. Fetch land. Yeah, fetch land. Cast Fury. Kill your Lurrus. I guess this will give them Delirium. Maybe I should have attacked first. Oh, this is just Dismember? Nope, it's just hit. Nice. So we could evoke the Mulldrifter here. Draw some cards. I don't mind that. I think that's fine. Yeah, let's do that. So generally, you're going to want the Evoke to go onto the stack first, Resolve last, in case you draw something like Ephemerate. But we get another Fury, so we're going to be ready to just kill their creatures, kill their creatures, kill their creatures. Companion is in the exile zone because we discarded it to Solitude. Yeah, Companion is in exile. It's in timeout. Ooh, the Torpor Orb. Seems good, chat. Seems good. And the 5/6 Tarmogoyf. I mean, Fury does punch through it. Engineered Explosives on 2, let's go. Always had it. And they scoop to the Engineered Explosives. Okay. We had a difficult one today, but you were able to see the power some of the time anyways of this deck. We got a couple of wins. You find that the grindy matchups we do pretty well, but definitely had a lot of trouble this league. The first match, I believe we actually got timed out. We've got valued out. I just got smacked around in some of these matches, but the deck is obviously very strong. I found that personally I was struggling with it just because I didn't necessarily know all of the play lines. This is my second time playing the deck, and the first time I played the deck, it was a very different configuration. You'll find that in Modern, having an understanding of your deck is going to be very important, and that's going to give you a huge advantage over somebody that doesn't necessarily understand what's going on. This is something that I've talked about a few times in the past, and I keep on bringing it up because it's really important, specifically in Modern, but in other formats too. The more you know about your own deck, the more you know about the format, the more you know about what your opponent is doing, the more information you're going to have, and more information is good. That being said, this deck is strong. I enjoyed playing it. I got a little bit frustrated because of some bad luck through some of the games, but I do think that it's a very strong deck, and that anybody that is lucky enough to have all the cards is going to enjoy playing this. And I really like Prismatic Ending in this list. Being able to cast it for 3, no problem, 4, even 5 sometimes. I think this might be one of the better Prismatic Ending decks.